My name is Dan Guillemette. I'm the lead physiotherapist at Team Sky. Our main focus really is to work with the riders on their strength and conditioning. We do a lot of background work in terms of areas of weakness and how we can develop them. You know, we're utilising the information that we've got from our day-to-day working with the riders and understanding and knowing how their bodies move. We tend to sort of split the riders. You see quite a difference in their physicality. You know, the classics guys compared to the Grand Tour GC riders, and we'll deliver slightly different programs. They'll do slightly different work. And we also look at sort of certain activation exercises which we'll do sometimes on the back of the bus before a time trial with certain key riders, just to get kind of key muscle groups around the hips and pelvis and power producing muscles, just kind of get them firing and sort of switching on a bit. You know, sort of simple TheraBand work, so it's great because we can do it to work with sort of squatting or just getting the shoulders working, certainly in a time trial position. The muscles will work around the shoulders to help stabilise, but also because you're in such extreme position, the muscles are kind of attached around the upper part of your body, also attached around your pelvis. So you're trying to stabilise down here and produce power, but also stabilise up here to be able to control your head and neck to stay in that aerodynamic position. So, and the same on the road bike really. Kind of just simple exercises to just work with what we call the external rotators, so the muscles around the outer hips and pelvis to help control alignment to the lower limb at the same time. So we'll get them into, you know, just doing simple sort of squatting exercises where they're just kind of like a sustained hold and they're pushing out into the band and then just going a little bit deeper, or even just straight forward, simple squats. We also do what we call a crab walk. So the band basically wants your leg to come in, so the riders have to work and control with this leg, control against the resistance of the band, but also as they stand on this leg, it also wants to take them off balance, so the hip muscles on this side are working at the same time, so that's where we come into that sort of 2-for-1 exercise. And again, with some guys, just simple stuff. We'll just get them holding on to something because cyclists generally have poor balance. And they'll just stand and just working kind of outer hip muscles. We'll get them working slightly further back depending on where the area of weakness is. And the same with the shoulders. What we'll get them to do is just take some of the tension with the band, and again just coming into that sort of squat position. And we get them we work a lot about kind of getting the riders to get feedback and understand when they're switching on these muscles up here. But essentially what they'll do is they'll switch on and just come into a small squat position, keeping that slight resistance, and we'll just get them to do some rotation work at the same time. So it's just kind of firing the core and the oblique muscles a little bit, but also, you know, cycling, they spend the whole time in this position, so muscles become shorter and kind of overworked in certain positions. So what we also want to do in terms of longevity and health, certainly with the spine, is to get them to work in a different movement pattern. So it's rotation. We'll get them to do a lot of work into extension, because otherwise by the time they retire, you can see some of the older pros, you know, their spine kind of walk around a bit like this really. And obviously they get a lot stiffer through their kind of mid-spine, their thoracic spine. And when we're working on areas of weakness and kind of mobility, and we come back to the sort of time trial position, we need to make sure that we can mobilise that area to allow them to get a better tuck or